argument, okay, you guys are kind of ahead of the game because we did a rhetoric with Shakespeare unit, so you guys are already prepped on uses, logos, pathos, rhetorical devices. Those are things you use in arguments, right, in order to like get what you want out of someone or something. So like the freshmen took a really long time to explain to them that in their argument unit. So basically, your goal for your argument is to write an argumentative essay. Okay, poster on the back of the wall. Is everyone familiar with argumentative writing, or somebody like, I got no clue what you're talking about? Okay, argue with people, yes. So what you guys are going to do, which is kind of cool, by the end of this unit, you are going to be able to, A, write an argumentative essay, B, it gets to be on whatever controversial issue you want to write about. Okay, so you get to pick what you're interested in and what you kind of want to go with. You're going to conduct research and develop an essay based on that topic. I will basically approve anything unless it affects the safety of a student in my class. Does that make sense? So if the topic would affect the safety of the student in terms of like their emotional or physical well-being, okay? You guys can all assume probably what I'm no, not like that. That's the only reason I would not allow a topic. It hasn't happened in 2 years. So we're going to kind of get an intro on what argumentative writing is and how to develop a body paragraph today so you guys are well prepped in advance for it. So I want you to focus because this is hard, okay? Having to organize counterpoints and rebuttals and claims all in one area, it can be confusing, and if you aren't cohesive with your thoughts, it gets all over the place and gets real messy. So I want all computers either shut or turned off halfway unless you're taking notes, okay? If you want to take notes on paper, I have some up here. Your discussion board? You'll have time. You'll have time at the end of the class.
Why? I literally won't. I don't have self-discipline like that.
I'll help you out on this. Okay, this is a lot more, because if you don't grasp this, it's going to be really hard throughout the whole unit. Okay, so we'll focus. Are we ready? I'm sorry, I have a nasally voice, you guys. This is probably terrible to listen to right now.
Oh, it's okay.
This is also on your Google, your Canvas account. So if you want to follow along, you can. Okay, what's up? Yeah. All right, Justin, Aiden, I need you guys to focus, okay? Zayla, Haley. All right, so first and most importantly, why on earth do we need to do this, okay? So first of all, you guys, this is your 10th grade standards, okay? So what this means is every sophomore in the entire United States following Common Core has to be able to do these things. One, write an argument to support claims, okay? Because who has old relatives on Facebook that argue over politics publicly? And it's so embarrassing.
So funny.
So embarrassing, okay? I have, like, relatives of my dad's that I've never met that I'm somehow Facebook friends with, and the things they post, I'm like, oh my gosh. And they get in arguments with people publicly because they don't know how to support an argument with evidence and then talk about issues that they don't agree with in a civil way, which you guys will be able to, right? When you disagree with people, it still needs to be civil. You need to be able to introduce claims and distinguish claims from alternative opposing claims. Develop counterclaims. Do you guys know what a counterclaim is? So when you ask your mom to spend the night in this house and she goes, I don't think so because blah, 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 she's countering you. Okay? Moms do that a lot. Ryan, wake up! Words, phrases, and clauses to link the major sections of the text, okay? Create cohesion. So that uses words like, some people might say, a counter-argument could be, things like that, okay? These are standards that as juniors you will be tested on by the state. So next year, you will have to write an essay clarifying that you know how to do this. Does that make sense? Okay. Also, you'll have to persuade and argue your way through life, whether you are a lawyer, whether you want a pay increase, okay, whether you want to be right over your spouse. It's a good skill to have in the future, okay? It's an important skill you guys will have in life. Okay, persuasion and argument. So there's two different types, okay? Stay with me. Persuasion is emotionally charged. To persuade someone, you're using emotions. that means that you want them to change to your point of view. Okay, so if I'm having an argument with Leah over whether dogs are better than cats, which dogs are clearly better than cats, but for the sake of this argument, okay, Leah's a cat lady here, okay. If I'm trying to persuade her, I want her to agree with my opinion. Okay, that's typically how arguments go, right? For instance, we all know Levi Swarbrick. Okay, he's my example, right? He comes into class one day and he's like, Mr. Wold, he thinks eating animals is murder. And I was like, okay. He was like, but that's not true. I'm like, but he can have an opinion. And he goes, no, but it's not murder. I'm like, but that's your opinion. So you're saying he can't have an opinion? Right? He's a freshman. Okay? So his approach there is persuasion. Like, he wants that other person to agree with him, and there's no other way about it. Okay? What we want to do in an academic setting is argument. Okay? That's to get the other person to acknowledge your point of view. Okay? So if Leah and I are arguing over cats and dogs, I'm going to approach her and try to make it so that she understands why I think dogs are better than cats. My goal isn't to change her mind, but it's to make my side of the argument valid. Okay? Does that make sense? If you focus on arguments, you're using evidence. If you're focusing on persuasion, that's when you typically get emotionally involved, and you might spew some facts that aren't necessarily true. Okay? I think we've all known people that do that.
I do it all the time.
Yeah? Okay. So, this is why we write an argumentative essay, not a persuasive one, and that's why it's called argumentative, okay? Because I don't want you guys in your essays to be like, okay, if I'm choosing a controversial subject, let's say I'm going to talk about the money the government spends on education versus prison, okay? Were you thinking about that?
I just learned about that in my sociology class, and I have a test on it tomorrow.
It's fascinating how much more money is spent on the prison system than you guys in education.
It's actually, the price for the prisons has gone up like 500%, and it's dropped 25% for the educational system.
It's crazy. We're incarcerating more youth than we are educating. Yeah. So you could write an essay on that if you wanted to. My juniors did. So if I approach that with a persuasive method, I might be emotionally charged and say, do you know how many kids are losing their education? Blah, 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 and get emotional about it. That's not what I want. I want it to be evidence, fact-based. You guys research, you guys use quotes, okay? So, general technique, like I said, persuasion, you blend facts and emotions in an attempt to convince the reader that I am right, okay? This is not about being right. It's about approaching both sides of the argument and having evidence prove that the writer has a valid and worthy perspective. Okay? Yeah.
So it's not saying I'm right, you're wrong.
Yes.
It's just having a valid reason.
Yes, it's saying, here's my opinion, I understand where you're coming from, but here's my thoughts on it.
Okay.
So this is promoting, it's making you guys be able to function in a society that has very different opinions. Right? Think of like the political climate we're in today, where people get into like full-on fistfights over Trump and like Obama. Okay? That's not what we're going for with you guys. Not the goal. Okay? I mean, it happened at Union Line with the MAGA hat, right? You guys heard about that?
What?
A student wore a MAGA hat, which is, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's Trump's Make America Great Again hat, which to some people is like, seriously, like fueling the fire. And this girl came up to him, told him to take it off. He said no, and she started like punching him. And a teacher had to get in the way, and she was like, punching the teacher, and it's on video. And the teacher's like trying to like get her out of the room, but she's like hitting him. So she finally gets out of the room, and the sheriffs came, and she was charged with assault. But it was this huge deal because she was saying how it's an emotionally charged hat, and it's racist for him to wear that, and so that's why she attacked him. But it's like, well, now her point will never be seen, right? Because she physically attacked someone. If you had an academic discussion about, hey, your hat offends me because of this, might have been a little bit more effective. Do you see where I'm going with that? I don't care about her point. I don't care about anything. I'm just saying you don't go attack someone because they have a different opinion than you. Okay? All right.
Good lesson.
Seriously. Here is a kind of like a fact sheet for you guys if you want to do this. This is just giving more information as to what your guys' goal is. Okay? So, Remember, the purpose is not to get the reader to agree with your opinion or change their mind. It's to recognize that your side of the argument is valid. Okay? So techniques, look at the difference. With persuasive, it combines facts with emotions to convince the reader that the author is right. Emotion-based, you don't address counterclaims, okay, which is the opposing argument. It only presents one side, which is the author's side, okay? That's what a lot of, like, articles on the internet will do today. You guys will, like, read it, and it's completely one-sided. It's not looking at both sides of the argument. Nate?
Are we doing argumentative or persuasive?
What are we doing?
Argumentative.
We're doing argumentative. Are we learning both, just learn both?
I'm trying to get you guys to understand that you will not be doing emotion-based writing. Okay? Your goal is to present a valid argument rather than persuade my opinion. Okay? So that's there if you guys want to look more into it. Alright, so here is elements of argument. Okay? So one is a claim. So let's do an example here. I am hot. I'm getting heated on argument. Is my pen gonna work? Yes! Okay. We're gonna move my crossing back after this too. So, someone give me a controversial topic. It could be a controversial topic.
Vanilla and chocolate.
Okay, Aiden, what were you gonna say?
Oh. I was gonna raise my hand, but then I couldn't think of anything, so I said that then.
That's a good one.
That is very controversial.
What?
Okay, let's stick with vanilla or chocolate. So argue whether vanilla or chocolate is the better dessert. Okay, someone give me a claim. What's a response to the question, right?
Vanilla, the dog can't die from vanilla, but dog.
No, I want a claim. A claim is your response to the prompt, which is argue whether vanilla or chocolate
Vanilla
is better.
No.
What is
I'm stating facts.
Vanilla's so good.
All right. Shh. Okay. So in an argumentative essay, the claim is your thesis statement, right? So I'm going to give you a prompt that says pick a controversial topic, develop a prompt around it. Okay. So let's say if we stick with the education debate, let's say you want to do it on that. Okay. And your prompt is something like, does the United States government value education or incarceration? Okay. Your thesis statement in the intro of your essay, right, is going to answer that question. So just like here, vanilla is the better dessert, the claim is when you answer the question. That's it, okay? Argue whether dogs are better than cats. Argue whether blah, 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 okay? For example, the freshmen are doing an argumentative essay on House on Mango Street. I don't know if you guys read it. Okay? So, in Arizona, there was a law that came into place that banned Mexican American studies because, for one reason, it promoted the overthrow of the United States government. And it basically created stereotypes against white people. It was this law that came into effect that banned that book. So they are doing an argumentative essay on whether that book should have been
the
banned.
Mango Street thing?
Mm-hmm.
The one that we read like last year?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get that book.
Yeah.
The one about the girl?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what was it about?
A young girl developing her identity in a low poverty area of Chicago. So, the claim is your response to the prompts. Okay, I don't want reasons here. It's just your response. Okay, what's your opinion? Now you're going to get into the juice of why that's your opinion. So, next is the reasons for your claim. Okay, so this is where basically your body paragraphs will come into place, right? If you have a 5-paragraph essay, you're going to have 3 body paragraphs with 3 reasons. So, what's one reason vanilla is better than chocolate? Okay, so maybe it's healthier. Well, you could prove that.
Because the dogs don't die.
Okay, dogs don't die from.
I mean, if it's an unhealthy amount of consumption, they won't die from their state.
What? 3. What's another reason vanilla is better than chocolate?
It tastes better.
Oh. I personally severely disagree with this, but.
I mean, I feel like there's a time for vanilla and there's a time for chocolate.
Yeah.
It's chocolate time. All right. The most important aspect of your reasons, Justin, Nate, okay? It's logical. I don't want that emotions-based. It makes me feel nice, okay? I like it because I have good memories with it. That's not logical reasoning. Okay, Liz?
Like, if you say chocolate's better than vanilla, couldn't you also say when the dogs don't die from vanilla, dogs get sick from any human food?
Yeah, that would be a counter-argument, right?
But you got from
So, now let's get into the evidence for it. Yeah.
How is it taste better a logical reason?
You could find research on that, like a significant, like a more percentage of people.
Okay, because I was just wondering, because
Yeah.
that doesn't seem logical. It seems like
Yeah,
partial
no,
opinion.
so you would have to find some sort of research that proves through studies or something that vanilla is more preferred among people than chocolate. Evidence. Shh, okay? Just like any essay that we've already written, you need examples from research and an explanation of how that evidence supports the reason for your claim, right? So here, it's healthier, you would need research, a quote. Dogs don't die from vanilla, again, research.
But they kind of sometimes do.
I mean, like, just give them chocolate and then give one dog vanilla. And
Well,
Well, I mean,
Dogs-
that's
Dog-
that's research.
can I talk? Dogs cannot consume chocolate of a certain amount. They will die.
Wait, so if I give him like an Oreo, will he be okay?
Yeah, he'll be
Yeah, it's like pure chocolate, a certain amount, and they can't tolerate it.
Yeah, they like
Just like grapes. Like 6 grapes can kill a medium-sized dog.
6 grapes? I give my dog like.
Don't give your dog grapes.
I've done that before.
Don't do it.
Grapes kill your dog?
Grapes are very poisonous for
My dog
dogs.
doesn't like
Why?
grapes.
I get,
What about bananas?
I'm gonna
My
go
dog
get my
loves
dog a
bananas.
whole box of
All right, bring it back. 3, 2, 1,
Give my
0.
dog a-
Shh. Okay. The next aspect is a counterclaim. What's a counterclaim? What's a counterclaim?
like an argument.
Nate?
It's when you disagree or argue against something and prove it with something.
Yes, it's the opposing opinion. Okay. So what could be a counter argument for vanilla is healthier?
Chocolate is healthier.
Study
There's no.
shown that vanilla is healthier. Like some sort of.
Well, that would be your evidence, right?
Oh,
The,
wait,
the
okay.
counterclaim is the opposing viewpoint. Okay.
Why
So someone who is saying chocolate is better might be like, well, there are more antioxidants in chocolate, which promotes healthy heart beating.
Could you use like a different study as a counter?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this one is better than the keys or something.
Yes. Okay.
Easier today.
Who brought up the significant amount of chocolate the dog has to have? So dogs don't die from vanilla. Counter argument: it would take like 10 pounds of chocolate to kill a dog. So
Would it actually?
okay, it takes a lot of chocolate. So that's a counter
Then why
argument,
do
right?
people be like,
Even
A dog
then,
can eat that
like
Hold
10
on.
pounds
why
of
do people
Hold on.
trip over it so bad
3, it tastes better. Okay. Vanilla tastes better. A counterclaim could be like, well, vanilla flavored things have more, are proven to have more fake ingredients than chocolate, which comes from more natural processing. Something like that. Those are all valid counter arguments. Okay. You're putting a weak slip into that reasoning. Because if I think about even political speeches, okay? They have to acknowledge that someone's going to disagree with them, okay? So we got the presidential election coming up in 2020, which is crazy because it seems like Trump was just elected. So when those people come up to kind of run for president, right? They have to acknowledge that even if I'm a Democrat, there are Democrats out there that might disagree with me. Or if I'm a Republican and I'm the Republican presidential candidate, there are still Republicans out there who are going to disagree with what I say, right? So I have to assume what is a counter argument to what they're going to say. Okay? So if I believe that we should increase taxes, and I'm going to run on that, I'm going to say we need to increase taxes because our schools are lacking funding, I have to assume that the people are going to be pissed about that, right? And I have to acknowledge that there's going to be a counter argument. I have to be ready to acknowledge that counter argument. Okay? Are you with me? Does this make sense? Why that's important? Liz?
My sister's she's in government, and they're doing this case on they interviewed so many people on like this whoever they were seeing who started like who stole the car with the screwdriver. So she went to our mechanic.
Yeah.
And like asked him a whole bunch of questions, and then she got like a whole like steering wheel set.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, she just got a lot of evidence to back it up for her claim or whatever.
That someone could steal a car with a screwdriver?
Well, no, that like they're trying to find out if the person stole it.
Oh, fascinating. Okay, let's focus on like this one right here, okay? That vanilla is healthier. Well, chocolate has more antioxidants.
I've died.
You've died? Yeah, that's still
Okay, what's a rebuttal? The word rebuttal.
Maybe even though vanilla has more whatever you said antioxidants, it has like less sugar or something like that. Or talking about chocolate also.
My argument.
We're talking about vanilla.
Vanilla. Okay.
You have to share the political views.
You have to kind of come back from your
Antioxidants are good things.
Good like everything.
Alright, shh. Okay, so a rebuttal is your response to the counter argument. Your counter argument, right, is the opposite of what you think. The rebuttal is in response to the counter argument. Okay? So if I'm like, okay, vanilla is the best dessert because it's actually healthier, and someone comes back, well, chocolate has more antioxidants. So even if it has less calories, it has more antioxidants. The rebuttal is going to address this counter argument. Okay? So I understand that chocolate has more antioxidants, but vanilla, someone give me a rebuttal, has less sugar than chocolate. Okay? Therefore making it the better choice for dessert. You guys see how that works?
So like you're basically going against your claim and
The counter argument is you acknowledging that there's an opposite point of view. Because if I have an opinion, there's always going to be somebody with an opposite opinion. So if I'm trying to make a claim, I have to acknowledge that there's someone else's opinion out there. Okay? Because if I'm just reading it, I'm going to be like, well, I don't agree with that. If you acknowledge that and give a reason for why, even if you disagree with that, here's the reasoning why it still makes sense, your argument is even that more valid. So remember, you're not trying to persuade them to 100% agree with you. You're just presenting your viewpoint. Okay? How do we feel? Got this? Thumbs down, thumbs middle. Where are we at? No, so I'm just saying that this is the elements of argument. Everybody. Good. Okay. Okay, so this is just review. Okay? Your claim is your opinion or stance on the issue at hand. Here's an example. All students should have to learn a second language because it leads to more opportunities in their career. Okay? Cool. Claim is basically like your roof over your head. It has to be supported by the reason and the evidence, right? I cannot make a claim about anything unless I have supported evidence. Okay? I had a student the other day say, most feminists are crazy. And I said, what do you mean by most feminists? And he goes, well, the ones I see on Facebook. And I said, so how does that constitute most feminists? And he goes, it's not, just the ones I see on Facebook. And I was like, okay. So you always have to have your information backed up by statistics, okay? It can't just be an assumption.
Should have been like, well, why do you use Facebook?
No, I was just trying to make him understand that that's one aspect of the belief. Counterclaim, okay? The heater is crazy. Okay? The counterclaim is a potential objection. So think of the counterclaim as like a ball that could ruin your entire argument. Okay? It could come in and just destroy your argument. So everything you have built, it can come in and destroy it. Okay? It's what can make it look weak. That's why you have to address it. Rebuttal. Okay? Your response to the counter-argument. Why is the counter-argument wrong and your claim is right? You effectively get rid of the item that can ruin your argument. Does that make sense? Okay. Just another way of looking at it. So, you guys are going to write an argumentative body paragraph. Just a body paragraph.
Right
Okay?
now?
Mm-hmm. It's the last thing we're doing today. So, this is the topic right here. Does social media positively or negatively impact youth? Okay? If you go either way, I don't care what your opinion is. You just have to support it. So, you're going to write a topic sentence that includes a claim. Right? So, social media positively impacts youth because it brings together more groups of people in one place.
Yes.
Or social media negatively impacts youth because it creates unrealistic stereotypes.
Oh.
Okay? Okay. Yes. So if you wanted to say social media is positive to an extent, then you could also give it a little bit of you do a body paragraph on why it's negative.
Do we have two?
Right? No. I'm just saying if she was writing real essay. So the way I'm teaching it is you're having a counterclaim in every paragraph. Because then you're addressing the weakness in every single point. Okay? Yeah.
How controversial?
What do you mean? I told you it could be anything, it just cannot impact or affect the safety of the student in my classroom.
I don't want to know if someone's going to get offended.
No, I don't care about that.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Like if you were to do a religious argument that was that affected the safety of one of my students, you know what I mean? Like their beliefs.
What is that?
It would have to be to a certain extent, right? Like you can choose any controversial topic, but if I deem that it's if that student read that and their safety was affected in terms of their emotional and mental health, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Then you guys are going to provide evidence that supports your claim that you researched. Okay. You're going to explain how your evidence provides proves the claim that you say prove, just like a normal paragraph, right? Normal expository paragraph. Provide a counterclaim, provide a rebuttal, and then write a concluding sentence. That's it. That's an argument in a body paragraph. Okay? Argumentative body paragraphs are so challenging because it's so formulaic. There's all these elements you have to hit with the counter and the rebuttal and the evidence, okay? That's why it's difficult. It's not that it's difficult to come up with these things. It's just making sure you hit every element, okay? So as long as you guys follow the formula, you are 100% fine. Got it? Okay. So you guys are working on this now. If you go out and go back to your modules, there's a response right here. That's where you're submitting your sample body paragraph. You can do text entry or Google Doc, I don't care.
Can you go back to this?
Yep. Okay. Do we know what to do? Head nod, head shake.
How long is it?
That's to be a body paragraph. Yep. Okay. Just hit all those elements. Yeah. Just prove to me that you can do that. Okay. I'm here if you need help, so go ahead and just raise your hand and I'll come and help you.